Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of American Truck Simulator. I'm Midnight Tactical Gaming. Today, we're back in Illinois, and we're outside of Rockford. We're going to be taking a run from Rockford to St. Louis. I wanted to get to the southern part of the state so that we could drive back up the 57 and see all that we can see off of 57. But we're going to be exploring more of this western part of the state as we travel down to St. Louis. We're going to be up here in Rockford. We're going to take the 39 to the 80 to the 74 to the 67, and then we're going to take these back roads all the way through. I kind of want to stay in the 67, but we'll see what happens. If not, at some point we're going to have to get back onto the 55 just so that we can stay in Illinois and not cross over into the state lines of Missouri. But we're going to be just outside of Peoria, outside of Moline, outside of Quincy, just outside of Springfield, all the way through as we travel throughout the state. Let's get right into it. All right, we're going to hop into the truck, start this thing up, release the parking brakes, and we'll be on our way. Again, we're running a company truck, though. This is a Freightliner that's going to be automatic. You can just see how upgraded this thing is with all the fancy-dancy screens and everything like that. We just, in that tank back there, we got a whole bunch of juice. So it looks like a fuel tanker or whatever, but it's not. It's a juice tanker. We're leaving the farms out here in Rockford, and we're going to be heading south to Missouri. Yeah, we got enough time to go. We're good. Yep, he was going nice and slow because he's pulling a tractor there. Yeah, I didn't want to fast travel or anything like that just to get down to the south part of the state, so I thought that we would do one more run for those of you on the west coast of Illinois that want to see that. And I just enjoy being in the state of Illinois in American Truck Simulator. It just feels absolutely so real. So I had no problem hopping back into the game and not fast traveling anywhere, and we're just going to let it ride. Hopping on the 39 South. This is a area of Illinois that I don't go to as much, so I might recognize things, I might not. But man, these rest stops definitely do look like our rest stops, though. I can tell you that much. It does. Oop. Hitting the Waker uppers. I believe it's Wednesday as I'm uploading this video, so happy Wednesday to you all. Happy hump day. We're going to get her up to 70 here, and we're going to set that cruise. I hope that it has not been too busy of a weekend for you all. For me, it has. I can tell you that. It's been a couple days of patrol at the department and then teaching some classes. I do that on the side. Teach some classes back to my patrol officers. A lot of tactical stuff. If we're going to be exiting here onto I-80 towards Des Moines, Iowa. I-80 is that interstate that just runs directly right down the middle of Illinois from east to west. Not a whole lot of traffic out. Well, I tried to get it at 70, but we got it set to 69. Yep, a lot of flags down here on the side of the road. Ooh, some turnaround spots as well. Oh, we got someone broken down. That's very common. Very, very peaceful side of Illinois, I would say. Are you guys enjoying the American Truck Simulator update with Illinois? Let me know if you are. I'm sure that you guys have been exploring quite a ton. One thing that I definitely want to do here is I should go live, and we should do a run from our furthest eastern point all the way to our furthest western point. I think that would be a ton of fun. So basically just a run from Chicago all the way down to Los Angeles, California, or San Diego, or something on the southwest side of the state. Man, we are really catching up to this car here. He's slowing down a little bit, so we'll slow down for him. Alright, he's heading off to Davenport, but we're going to take the next exit and go to Peoria. Take it nice and slow. You don't want to wreck this thing. You don't want to roll this thing and spill all of our juice. Absolutely no traffic out here. That's fantastic. Just us and the road, boys. I'll hop out to the third-person view and let you guys listen. We're heading over here to Monmouth. I believe there's a college there, I say. I know that further out west this way, you're getting towards Western Illinois University, the Leathernecks. I've been there quite a bit for work-related reasons. Whenever the college has some sort of event where they want, the career day type of things, I've been to 2 of those events at Western. Not a whole lot out here. Absolutely nothing. I mean, the best food that they have, in my opinion, is the Chick-fil-A that they have in the dining hall at Western. There is nothing out here. Speed limit's a little bit slower. It's at 65, so if we could stay off the rumble strips, we'll set that, but we're also going up a hill. Look at all these road snakes in the ground. Oh, I see some things over here. Oh, got some flags to go 45 as we come into town here. Let me see where we're at. Yep, Monmouth. We are definitely in Monmouth. This is very accurate. I stopped when I was driving to Western for work. There's a gas station. This is supposed to be a Burger King. This burger joint is a Burger King, but I believe there's a gas station that's in front of it, and I stopped for gas there and filled the squad car. But yeah, the college is a little bit compressed to the road here. In real life, it's a little bit further down to the left. But yeah, that's definitely supposed to be a Burger King, I think. And then as you travel further out west, of course, you do have this bend in the road. And it goes back to absolutely nothing, where it's all grass and farmland, and the only people out here are state troopers. Looks like some sort of Love's gas station. For Burlington, I think they're saying that if you exit there, you would go to Burlington, Iowa, I want to guess, because Burlington, Illinois is closer to me near Rockford. I think we were going a little fast there. Speed limit's 55, so we'll keep it set to 55. Looks like right now we're on the 67, Route 67. Man, this car is going slow. I never really pay attention to the license plates in this game. I know that my semi-truck has a Missouri license plate on it because that's the garage that I had it set to in Springfield, Missouri. But looking at the car in front of me, it's got an Illinois license plate, which just absolutely looks fantastic. Just really sets this game apart. Speed limit's 50 now. They really want us to go slow here. Do want to get in the left lane. Looks like we're making a left up here. There's a train, though. Is that a train? Yeah, it's got to be a train. I don't know what else it would be. Alright, what town are we in now? I'm not exactly sure. Well, as we come up to this red light, I'll take a quick break and we'll look to see what town we're in. Based off of what I can see on Google, this has got to be Macomb, right? Just outside of Quincy, off of I-67. I think that this is Macomb. Let's see, does this tell us anything? That does not tell me anything. To be honest, I tried to avoid downtown Macomb. There's not much to see. It's not very fun for me, so this does not look very familiar at all. Unless I saw the college, I would let you know. Really got stuck out this white car. Really got stuck out there at those lights. But we're moving now. It's gonna get real farm town now. We're not gonna stay on the 136. We're gonna make that right to stay on the 67. We're gonna be stuck behind this tarp truck. Beardstown coming up. I don't think it's modeled in the game though, but man, look at those rolling hills, dude. Look how green and lush that is. ATS just is such a good game. I'm not even just saying that because of Illinois, but I'm just saying it is such a good game. They have done such a good job giving you the feel of all these states. I'll roll down the windows now. Let you guys listen to the outside. Some cows. They really got us going slow through these small farm towns, but look at this bridge that we're coming upon. And we're going to be crossing the Illinois River. Wow, look at that. Really dirty. 2 toots for the Illinois River. Then we're back into another small town. We're going to continue to follow the signs south 67. We'll make a right turn here. Oh, please don't tell me we're going to get stuck behind this combine harvester. Well, being that today is Wednesday as I'm releasing that. Oh man, look at that. Watering the crops, the corn, or the wheat and the barley. Being that today is Wednesday, we just got done racing at Nashville. And I love the names of these tracks. Like Chicagoland Raceway is in Joliet. Nowhere, it's 2 hours away from Chicago. Nashville is in Lebanon, Tennessee. It's 45 minutes away from Nashville. I just love the names of these towns and where they're putting these racetracks. But I digress. It's just I feel empty inside watching NASCAR, knowing that we no longer have Kyle Busch with us, and he's no longer in this sport either. It's an eerie feeling, honestly. You know, it was just weird to hear the news that he was in the hospital, let alone hearing news that he had passed away. And honestly, it made me think for a second, and I hope that it makes you guys think for a second that life is fragile, and if something going on in your life as minuscule as being a little bit sick needs you to take a step away from some things, I think you need to take a step away from some things. I mean, I don't know everything. I'm not a doctor, and I can only go off of what I see online, but there are some narcissistic doctors that are like, oh yeah, if you would have just slept one time, like, you know, did one full day of rest and did some of these antibiotics, you would have been alive and stuff like that. And I believe it to a certain extent, right? When I get sick personally, I turn into a complete child. I turn into a complete baby, and my day is done. My day is ruined. Even just recently in this month of April, I got sick, like a common cold, like the sniffles. And I was like, I'm not going to record any YouTube videos. I'm not going to go to work. I'm going to call in sick. I'm literally going to lay in bed for 24 hours and sleep and watch movies and just chug Dayquil and NyQuil. Get over for this car. Now, this is my first time. I think I've heard of sepsis and stuff like that, and I know pneumonia is bad, all that stuff for old people, but it's definitely been a learning point for me. I did not know that sepsis like that could just kill you. I didn't know that pneumonia like that could just kill you, a common cold, and just overexerting yourself, man. That's frightening. That's insane, in my opinion. And I mean, I don't want to start turning into some freak that's like overly cautious, but like as I get older, it's like that's all I think about. Just from buying a house recently, I've lived in my house, my own personal house, for about 3 years now, and like I've developed irrational fears over the smallest things that I've never developed fears over. Like, I've always, known not to run the dryer when I'm not home because if something happens, if there's a fire, any of that stuff, oh, we got a train. If there's a fire or anything like that, like, you want to be home to be able to stop it and all that stuff. And now, but like when I was with my parents, I would run that dryer constantly. I would not care. I would let it rip. But now I don't do that. Whenever I leave the house, I make sure that the oven is off. And let me tell you something about me. Something about Midnight Tactical Gaming. I don't use the oven very much. That's a nice train. I don't use the oven very much. I'll use the stovetop, and I use my smoker, and I use my grill, but I don't truly use the oven a ton. And if I do, it's maybe to make a frozen pizza or some frozen chicken strips or something like that. But for the most part, if I'm getting a pizza, I'm probably going to order out. I'm in Chicago. We have the best pizza all around. So I'm going to order out. And then on top of the pure fact that I'm just working so much, I'm working 40 to 55 hours a week. I eat out a ton, and by eating out a ton, I also mean that, like, I'm eating out at restaurants, but then I'm also meal prepping from, like, Whole Foods and stuff like that. So that's still technically eating out, but it's a healthier option. So there's been some irrational fears, and then watching this Kyle Busch thing has added on to that, I think. Because now even more with the sickness, I'm like, nope, not dealing with it. If I'm sick, I'm not pushing through that thing. I'm going to curl up into a ball and die. I think I want to say this gently, but if you think that you're sick, like, that you're sick, and it hasn't gone away in more than 3 to 4 days, though, I think that should have also been a sign. I think that should be a sign that you need to go to the doctor. I think that's what the DayQuil recommendations say. I think that's what Google says. So I think it seems like, from what I've seen, he was walking around doing fine, probably thinking he's fine, but there were some underlying conditions that were affecting him. And man, it's just a sad situation, dude. It's Kyle Busch is one of those drivers. I hated him. I did. I grew up a Tony Stewart fan, and I liked watching Kyle when he was at Hendrick, but I will say that when he went to the 18 and he was winning a ton, I'll take this back. I loved watching him in the Truck Series, loved watching him in the Xfinity Series, or what was it called back, the Busch Series. Loved watching those. He was my first ever Truck Series die-cast car that I ever got. He was my first ever Busch Series die-cast car that I ever got. But I didn't love him in the Cup Series. Is what it is, right? And then it got really stagnant there after, like, I think 2013 is when 2014 is when they made that Kyle Busch rule that he's not allowed to race in all those series. At that point, he had gotten into the Cup Series, and that's when I started not loving him a ton, because it was just him, winning every single race in the 18 car, and the cars were bad, and NASCAR was going through a weird time of losing viewership and stuff like that. So I think that hurt my effect on liking Kyle Busch. But there was one race. It was the race between him and Martin Truex Jr. at the Brickyard, where I think he drove it in deep and wiped out Martin Truex Jr. But just watching that kind of just said, "Oh, is this guy tired?" That kind of changed something for me. in my mind. It rearranged something. It rewired something. I was like, this guy is desperate to win at for any cause, and will do anything to win. And it's because he's getting older, in my opinion. At that time is what I was thinking. So I look back at it at that time, and then his wins started to slow down. Then he went winless. I remember his last year in the 18 car, I believe. He wasn't able to win until Texas that year. And I was like, man, this is the end. This is the beginning of the end towards a legend. I slowly started to think back to everything, and I was like, man, this guy was actually really, really good. And compiling all of his stats together, between the 3 series, his combined wins, in Midnight Tactical Gaming's personal opinion, Kyle Busch would be top 3, in my opinion. I think that you would have to put Richard Petty on there just because of what he's done. You have to put Jimmy Johnson on there because of all the championships. But then I think you put Kyle Busch up there as well. Now, if you're going to argue, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt should go on there, 100%. I think that they should go on there. So that would go at the top 5. So I think that they're... which way are we going? Oh, staying this way. So, and it looks like we're in Missouri now, by the way. But I digress. Just for recency factors and recency bias, I want to put Kyle Busch in my top 3. But we need to look at that critically, but I don't think that you can put him outside the top 5. I think he is top 5 greatest NASCAR drivers of all time. Not in order, but it would be Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch. All right, well, we're going to be bringing this juice to that looks like the Anheuser-Busch bottling service. I just ran that red light. I am completely out of it. My fault for sure. But it's fitting that we talk about Kyle Busch as we were bringing it to the Anheuser-Busch facility. We're going to run that yellow. We'll make it through. My guy is getting absolutely exhausted too, so we're going to have to get him some sleep when we're done with this run. Got some of their bottling facilities there. Slow down. I don't want to run another red light. So, that being said, that's kind of what I wanted to get off my chest with Kyle Busch. We missed the guy. It's just unreal, man, unreal that he's not going to be here anymore. I just can't believe it. But unfortunately, we have to be strong and move on and be there for Brexton and for Samantha and Lennox. But I was just so excited with the silly season ramping up, man. I wanted him to go to Spire. That would have been so cool. Alright, looks like we've arrived here at the USBB. We'll pull in. Get them to open up the gate for us. We'll get this thing parked up, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching this video and listening to me rant. That's going to do it for me in this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, brother.